everybody. I'm going to give everybody a chance to join up if they want to watch it live until about the 2 to 2.5 minute mark. Gives us about 2 minutes from now. I'm driving down Interstate 40, heading back toward my house. I had one call today. I kept the schedule light because originally I was going to help my wife take my twins to the eye doctor, but she doesn't feel well, so she canceled that. So I guess I just have a little bit of quality time, and quality time easily gets filled with office work. So that's probably what I'll do. I have to type up some stuff, send out some invoices. I just sent out some earlier, and I'm sure I have to do some more via email. Have some phone calls to make. Don't really feel like that. Phone calling is my least favorite thing to do. I'd rather be working, but it's part of the business. Give it about another minute, guys. There's a little sign there that says Wallace 11 miles. I live just south of Wallace. About another 30 seconds and we'll get started. Hey guys, I've been noticing a trend recently on the HVAC community, not just the groups by that name, but in general any forum that I'm participating in that is spawned from YouTube watching, i.e. the Talent HM5 Pro group, Stephen Raridan's group, and the HVAC community on YouTube. I've noticed that there's been a lot of fighting. And this is nothing new, and I'm no stranger to arguments myself. I mean, me and Billy Noth have spoken about the fact that we like debating, but there's a line where it becomes unproductive. And when I was deciding to make this video, I was talking to Ralph earlier, and I wanted to make a video, but I didn't know how to go about doing it. And like everything else I do in life, it seems like, I just started the camera and we'll see what's happening. The biggest problem is I started it live, so we'll see how I adapt and if I screw up and offend everybody. It's a distinct possibility. I've been part of the HVAC community since 2011 when I started making videos. I started watching videos before that. I created my YouTube account in 2009, so it's been 7 years of watching YouTube, really enjoying it, really learning, and I've noticed that some faults appeared in myself. I've seen some faults in the community and issues at large, which I think are nothing that can't be corrected. There's been a lot of fragmentation in the community. Parts of us have gone separate ways. People don't speak to each other. There's arguments, disagreements. Everybody's mad. Everybody goes to separate corners. And I hate that. I really do. I hate that. I was watching... Oh. Well, that was a long conversation. I hope some of you are still there. But you're probably not, because you probably got sick of looking at the black screen. I had to talk to Ralph. Ralph was enlightening me about different aspects of servicing a geothermal system, which I do not work on. And since I see guys talking about it, naturally I'm curious, and I want to have some sort of knowledge if I ever do see one, so I can work on it. Now, around here there are people with Florida heat pumps. From time to time I'll hear about them, but I don't have the privilege of working on one. I just haven't had that privilege, so I want to have a little information, and the reassurances he gives me is that they're very similar to regular systems with a few differences. So I asked him about how you check the water pressure, and if there's special gauges you need, special instrumentation, And he told me about that, which was very kind of him. And that's what I'm talking about with the HVAC community. See how I tied that in there, Ralph, if you're watching? See how I did that? That's skill. That's verbal skill, communication skills. That's what the community is all about. But of late, it's been a lot of people, a lot of fighting. And I've participated in some of these debates. I'm no stranger to going back and forth. And I think that's a good thing to do. But there's a line you don't want to cross. Going back and forth is fine. If someone thinks you're wrong, like in the 407C thing, a lot of guys think I'm wrong about that, and I'm okay with that. I mean, that's fine. I'll listen to what they say. If they said something that made me think twice, I'll change my mind about it. I'm fine with that. I've actually thought about doing a video about doing a full-scale oil replacement on one of my changes and see how long it takes to do the full-scale replacement. Taking the compressor out, and if it's a heat pump, taking the accumulator out and dumping all the oil out, or as much as possible, and seeing how much longer it takes. Now, I've talked about that. Me and Ralph talked about it. I said it might be too long. That's what he said. It might take so much extra time, you might just use a different drop-in. I said, well, I like 407C. It's got a good capacity, and truthfully, the maximum capacity comes out with POE oil, so it would increase the capacity a little bit and the efficiency of the refrigerant. So then maybe I'll try that. And I'm not trying it because I'm wrong. I'm trying it because I do listen to people when they present their opinions to me. I don't have a problem with that. I think that's a good thing. There's many things I've changed because people told me that they think what I did could have been improved, and I'll listen to them. We don't have enough of that. And I haven't been the best at that in my whole life, that's for sure. Taking constructive criticism is an acquired thing, I think. It's best when it comes from people that you trust, people you respect, but sometimes it comes from people you dislike. And that's one of the problems. In the HVAC community, we have several types of people, many different people, and not all of them get along. And you've seen people go into war. You've seen John Israel, Stephen Raridan, John Israel, and Jason Strom. You've seen people argue in different forums, go at each other's throat. You've seen me argue with people. And I've thought about it, and I keep thinking about it, and a part of me is always in the background during these arguments going, hey, Zach, there's something wrong here. Yeah, like the little angel on your shoulder, and then there's a devil over there that goes, tell him fuck off, And I've been listening to this guy too much because I don't want all the arguments to be like that. It says, well, I like to put POE on top of mineral, and then the counter argument can't be, well, fuck you. That's probably not the best way to do that. And that's just using that as an example. That's one of the most recent debates. But there's a lot of them. There's Goodman versus Train. There's Train versus everybody else. And we can have these debates and talk about them. But it seems like they always dissolve down into like one of these battle royals. And I wish it didn't. I think that we have so much to give each other as far as knowledge. I know, just like talking to Ralph just now. He told me some things I didn't know. I don't work on them. I'm not too proud not to listen to what he's got to say, thinking that I'm so good that no one can tell me anything new. Well, that's just bullshit. And it's just there's a lot of that out there. I see it in the way people talk, in the way the videos are made, and it's like, hey, this is some great information right here, but I'm not listening to shit you're gonna say about anything. There's a lot of that out there, and it's not flagrant and it's not blatant. It's not always part of these arguments, but you can see it on the videos, and you can see it in people's comments. They don't want to hear anything anyone else has got to say. All I'm saying is, it might be worthwhile to take a second, slow down, and think about it. Even when people are being complete dicks. You might be dealing with the biggest, and forgive me, biggest asshole in the world. But what if they're right about what they're saying? It's not that the facts are wrong, it's that the delivery is flawed. And I want to see our guys have enough class to say, you know what? I can tell the difference there. Even if this guy is a complete dick, I can still take what he's saying and use it to better myself. And that's real difficult. And I haven't been good at that. I may be preaching, but I'm not always been a guy who can do that sort of thing. I've gotten, me and my brother coming up, we both do HVAC, and we worked together for nearly 15 years. Part-time at the beginning, but the last 12 or 13 were full-time. And it was not rare to see both of us yelling at each other at the top of our lungs. Differences of opinion. But as time goes by, everyone grows up, and there should be a mutual respect. Despite our different personalities, and I'm trying to reach out to some of the people I haven't spoken to and have become fragmented through these discussions, through this, well, you're this, you're that. I'm going to try to reconnect, and I think the community as a whole should come back together. We don't have to be best friends, and we don't have to go to Christmas parties together, and we don't even have to like each other. But in general, we should respect each other and use the forum for what it's designed for, which is to learn. And to a certain degree, it's like getting off of work and relaxing. You're gonna talk with other guys that know your same struggle. They're gonna be able to identify the issues that you have, and you're gonna have someone that you can communicate with that understands what you're going through as far as work life, and to a certain degree personal life, because a lot of us share the same struggles, because our work affects our personal life. A lot of us have wives that have very taxing summers because we're gone quite a bit. We go through the same thing, chasing down money. Those of us who are business owners have a different set of issues to deal with, from taxes to employees to dealing with collections. These things are stressful things, and they're difficult on people, whether they admit it or not. A lot of us are very tough on the exterior, and they want to appear tough, but dealing with these issues, it can get to you. It can get you in a big way. And some of that boils over in some of the other arguments. Oh, I have another phone call. I'm back. All right, there's no viewers anymore. Shit. That's too bad. Okay, well, I'll finish this up. I don't know if anyone wants to watch anymore. I've had to leave. I got a call from a realtor. I have to check out a system where there's a low temperature split, which could be low refrigerant. A lot of times it's that way. Basically, all I want to do, I've seen just it come to a head online, and I don't know. I don't know if people will listen to me about this. I don't know if they even care or even want to. But I don't want to see our community damaged and keep falling apart the way it is. There's certain people in the community that won't talk to other people now. I'm not saying they don't even have a good reason, but it'd be nice if we could come together in order to learn. That's what I'm going to try to do. Every Sunday I go to church, and I sit in a pew and I listen to what they have to say, and it makes me feel better, and it makes my belief stronger and why I got there. And I would hate for when I left that pew and went to work on Monday morning if I just abandoned everything that I had listened to there. So I don't want that to happen. Even if no one gives a shit about anything I'm saying and doesn't care at all about what I'm trying to do, and it's not just me, I'm sure others feel the same way. They want to see the community used for learning. And that doesn't mean we can't joke around and have a good time. And that doesn't mean you got to be friends with some of the people you think are dicks. But I think it'd be better off if we all just gave it a shot. I know there's some people from the past that are never going to join this community. And that's fine. That's okay. But the people that are here and want to do that, that want to come back together and do that, I ask that you consider that. Like I said, there's 3 groups. Actually, there's 4 groups I'm a member of on Facebook. The YouTube community, Talent 875 Pro, Stephen Raridan's group, and the owners group, HVAC owners. They're really good groups. I don't look to go beyond those groups because, I mean, how many groups can you be in? 4 is a lot already. I know there's lots of groups, and people say they don't want things to become HVAC talk where a lot of people are attacked and stuff like that. And I see it in the groups. I see it in the groups to a certain degree. I know there's sharing your wisdom with people, and there's enlightening people, but it's done in such a sharp and pointed tone. But sometimes that's how folks are, I guess. And to a certain degree, to get over it. Like when my wife always says, my kids will never ride the bus. I'd love it if my kids went to private school. Well, you could be sheltered, and you could be protected from the world, but the world's coming. And you can't change that. Just like there's people out there in the world that aren't going to be nice to you. And there's a certain degree of insensitivity that you're going to have to tolerate. And that's just how it is. I mean, every time someone disagrees with you, you can't run in the other direction and get angry. And I don't want the groups to become like that. You got to be able to tolerate it. I mean, guys are going to mess around. Guys are going to joke around. But the idea is you don't do it in a hurtful manner. You're not doing it to bring anybody down. You're just doing it we're having a good time. I make jokes all the time. Me and John joke around. Me and Ralph joke around. It's just how it is. We're buddies. We've become friends over these last several years. I mean, I've never met either one of those guys in person. But I count them with my friends. In fact, I don't have a whole lot of friends. I typically stay to myself. That's how I like it. If we had a big group of all of our guys in one place, I probably wouldn't even want to go because I don't like being around that many people. I live on a quiet little farm. You know, I call it a farm now because we have chickens. So it's technically a farm. That's where I like it. There's no one around here. No one's walking through. There's no, it's just quiet. That's what I like. And it's not that I dislike people. It's like, you know, I'm not good in those situations. I don't like those situations. I like to keep to myself. But I do enjoy going on the groups. You know, it's nice. You can say what you want to say. You can look what people are doing. But it's funny because all the videos I've ever done and all the talking, you know, you see me talking right now and communicate well. And I can communicate real well. We talk one-on-one. I communicate real well. I talk to my customers. I communicate real well with them. But if I were to give a speech in front of 100 people, I would be petrified. I mean, it would literally, I'd be up there sweating and shaking because I just can't do it. But one-on-one, it's fine. I don't even like the phone. I don't like phones. I like talking to people face to face. I hate phones because you can't tell, you can't see people's faces what they mean when they're saying, because you know people talk, and part of the expression of their face is part of the language which they're using to communicate, and I just feel like it's almost like doing something blind. But that's a little about my problems. I don't know, guys. What do y'all think about this? I mean, people got their eyes open, they have their ears open, they see there's problems out there. I like the communities to stay above board, and a lot of that is having strong leaders of the groups. You know, Rob's a good leader. If he sees something going down, he'll delete it. I haven't been in Steven's group as much. I know he's deleted stuff. I don't remember which ones it was, but I know some of the arguments they had. I've deleted stuff in my group, and it's stuff from my buddies, you know, because there's sometimes if someone steps across the line, you have to delete it. Even if they say they have a good reason, and it may be a good reason, sometimes you just got to go, because it's not about what the group's about. And that's a hard thing to do, because the people are your friends, and you don't want to hurt their feelings, but it's just something you have to do. And having these conversations, blunt conversations with each other, I think is the best way to go. You know, leave out the arguing and the hatred and all that stuff. I mean, if you don't, like I said, if you have a problem with somebody, just leave it be. Leave them alone. Use the group for the good parts that you want. You don't have to go up with these people that you argue with or you don't like. You don't have to be their friend. I mean, it's worse for the group if someone tries to force that shit to happen. Because there's going to be, if there's 100 guys in a room, there's going to be plenty of them that don't like each other. But we still have to function as a group. So, that's what I think, guys. For better, for worse. I hope I communicated that well. I was wondering how I was going to make this video. I felt like someone needed to talk about this. Because as time goes by and the groups get bigger, the problem gets worse. And maybe if we have some sort of understanding, get it out in the open, it'll make it better. So, but that's my story there. So I think that's all for today. Stay safe out there, guys. Looks like I have 3 calls tomorrow to do in 3 different towns. So I'm gonna go down the North Carolina coast, bam, 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 and hopefully knock those out. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Ah, the lovely farm. Man, look at that shit. It's green. It's beautiful. Oh, the building down there, man. That shop is sweet. Let's go down there and check it out. Let's go down there to the shop. Oh yeah, man, the shop it's all right. It's the awesomest. There's my little tiny scrap pile. I give away some of my scrap to the guys that help me, so I don't have a whole lot. I have like 4 or 5 condensers and some evaporators. Oh yeah, there's the basketball goal. My son plays basketball. Here we have the other building, the pump house. It has a water softener in there. And there's the other building right there. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay classy. Stay classy, San Diego.